The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, because you could be watching this at any time of the day. Is your fave prevention duo, Ryan Z from Healthy Him, and
what's good, y'all? It's the Wayne Savie, prevention training specialist from the Networks program, coming with y'all with another popping episode of the Healthy Him Show.
Healthy Him, the show. Okay, we are not the link anymore. It's formerly known as the link, but we are not the link anymore. We came in, shook the table. You know, we is black and queer, and we is here. Okay,
we added some lighting. We added some decor.
Yes, you see, we bring in a whole new flavor, a new flair, a new cut, a new color.
Okay, look, we're bringing the seasoning.
Okay, and that's that on that. How are you feeling today, boo?
I'm feeling good. You know, we have a guest today that's going to, shake the table even more with us because, well, before we get into that, we would like to thank and mention APLA Health, Pyro Media Network, and CDC, because without those three, we would not be here today.
Okay, they bring the Munty Hunty. That's that.
Okay, the Munty, the quality, all the ease.
All of the above. All of the above, okay? And that's that on that. Now, let's get into, well, let me tell you how I feel. Today,
how are you doing?
I feel good.
You feel good?
I do feel good today.
I
do feel good today.
Why you feel good today?
He thought it was because I got a little cutty last night, but I didn't.
No?
But I didn't.
You walked in here glowing and stuff like...
It's because it's when you're happy with where you are in life.
You
just wake up
happy.
Blessed. You know, you wake up blessed and happy. You know? Because healthy him. I'm a healthy him.
Amen.
Okay, like he woke up healthy. He woke up, you know, very blessed and grateful.
Oh wow!
So it was all of that.
Okay, like the dew in the morning. Look at him, y'all. Look at him. Like he glowing and stuff.
Anyway, child. So yeah, let's get into what we do. Swab and chill. First off, if you don't know, I run the initiative Swab and Chill here. It's at-home HIV testing. So if you ever just want to come here, do it in person, or just send that to me and I'll do it and come from my own home. Just call me, and it's right it's always down here. You see as it's swiping down the screen, it's right there. So yeah, if you ever want, your at-home HIV testing, just call me, text me, whatever. And then what they do for you.
Well, okay. So first and foremost, I would like to introduce that we are rebranding. So we are now not known as APLA Health anymore. We are Out Here. We are the Out Here Center, powered by APLA Health. Okay. So with that being said, you can come find me at the Out Here Center in Baldwin Hills. Okay. I'm located both with the community resources, but also with the sexual health clinic. So if you need a fingerprint, if you need an STD or STI screening, if you need any of those things, you can hit me up. You can follow us at thenetworks.apla on Instagram and on TikTok. Twitter coming soon.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. That deserves a ring.
Okay.
And that's about it for me for the most part. If you're interested in PrEP, we can help you with that as well, because the Networks does it all, baby. We are the Networks to help your network get healthy. Okay.
As Dwayne said, we are currently rebranding, so I am a part of the community resources here on the second floor upstairs. Healthy Him, that is I. But yeah, we have our Healthy Him checklist. So if you come and get STI testing with us and then you get HIV testing with us, you get $50. But then if you
get Munty Hunty?
Yes, you get Munty Hunty.
Oh my God.
But then if you get on our VIP list, basically you're telling us, I'm gonna get tested with y'all every 3 months. So we know. And you get additional 25, and that's 75. Okay, and then if we really, really like you, we can give you another 25 just because we like you. So
okay, no, but you can come see me and then get an additional extra.
There you go. Like, it works out.
Okay.
And it's to, a place where everybody loves. So that's all you need to know.
Okay, and we're open Monday, Tuesday,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
No, we are not open on Saturday.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Who gonna be here on Saturday?
It's talk. There's talk that they may be soon this summer.
It won't be me.
Okay, well, hey, it may not be him, but there's talk that we will be open because some people be busy during the week. We need to get in the clinic and we gotta work, and then I'm tired. So by the time my day is over, I don't feel like going to nobody's clinic.
Exactly, which is why I'm not gonna be here on Saturday.
Okay, well, you don't, but there's someone else who will.
Okay, and somebody will be here to assist y'all.
Okay, and that's that on that. Now, linkage to care for those who are positive out there and know your status and just like, I don't need testing. I already know I'm positive. We love you. We support you, and we can link you to care if needed. We have a specialist here for that. My counterpart here in Healthy Him, Kaylin, who can link people to care who haven't been in care for a while or also just need care in general or just finding out their status.
Yeah, and then also the Networks program is coming up with a wellness check to where even though you don't need an HIV test because you're well aware of your status, we can still check your vitals, check your STDs, and screen for STDs and STIs to make sure that those are all good. Because although, yes, you are positive, that also means you're susceptible to other, sexual diseases and things like that. So we just want to make sure that y'all are healthy, and you also get incentivized with that. So more details coming soon for the wellness check. Okay.
And PrEP, y'all. Pre-exposure prophylaxis. If you want to get on PrEP, the prevention pill, as they call it, like
Discovery.
I always say Discovery is the best, but you do what you want to do. But for me, pre-exposure prophylaxis. Talk to your provider and see what's best for you. That's literally what it is.
Okay, that's what the commercials say. Anyway.
It does. But people consider it like the what is it called? The morning after pill for gay people.
Oh, PrEP.
Pretty much. No, PrEP.
What?
Well, both in a sense, because it's like you're preparing for PrEP. I call it what's the name? What is it called?
That's birth control.
Birth control. There we go. The birth control. And then PrEP is the morning after pill. So yeah, the between.
Right.
There we go.
Plan B.
Yes. PrEP prevents you from getting HIV, and it's for people who are negative. And then PEP is for those who have been exposed within the 72-hour time frame. So yes, we have both. We offer both. Just if you need either or, let us know.
And if you need help remembering, just remember you can't spell PrEP without pre.
Okay. I hate us. Now let's get into our groups. He loves the way I say groups because I'm from Baltimore, y'all. He from Baltimore. Anyway, let's get into our groups, y'all. Groups.
Yes. Tell us about our
what
groups.
We do on Tuesday.
Okay, so on Tuesday, we have our hip hop class taught by me. Okay, and that is again every time Tuesday. Okay, every Tuesday. I got a little excited. Okay, I had some coffee. From 6:30 to 8. And then on Thursday, what we got on Thursday, friend?
On Thursday, we got BQT, Black Queer Talk. So we talk about sex, love, relationships, and all that great stuff in between. Our most recent one, we did sex, love, and kinks. Okay, sex education, love, and kinks. We did 2 parts to it. It was great both times. We had demonstrators from Onyx, who you will actually be meeting a member of today.
Okay,
and yeah, it was great. We learned about a lot of great things. We learned about flogging. We're gonna get into that today. Y'all gonna learn what that is.
Ooh, flogging
we did all of the above.
It's like a massage.
It was great.
I know you don't imagine, like, when you figure out, when we explain to you what flogging is, I know probably people will probably like a massage, but maybe try it.
Okay, and that's that on that. But without further ado, let's bring in our guest. Bring him in the room. That's true.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
We're good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Yes. Okay, so you want to be, your name is Wagz, Onyx, correct?
Correct.
We will call you Wagz. Okay, got it.
All right.
So Wagz, what are your pronouns? What do you do? Give us the little, tidbit about you.
Introduce yourself to the audience.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Wagz Onyx. Pronouns are he, him, his. I am actually in quality assurance and evaluations with another company that actually works with healthcare workers in the HIV field. Also happen to work with the CDC a little bit, so we've got a lot in common.
Wow! Well, hello, thank you for the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Gosh, and then I guess kind of what I do in Onyx, maybe. I am a brother with Onyx. I've been in the club for like 4 or 5 years now, something like that.
So tell us a little bit about Onyx. We've been like mentioning Onyx and like how they've done demos and things like that.
What is Onyx?
Yes, what is Onyx?
Yeah, so Onyx is a leather social club for men of color. That's cisgender, trans men, gay, bi. We're POC men of color group, and we're really just, trying to bridge the gap between people of color and the larger leather community. So we really like to think of ourselves as like a door. We're really there to get people into it and give them opportunities to kind of experience leather culture and the leather community. Gosh, what else could I tell you? We have a bunch of chapters all over the country. There's like 9.
Wow.
We have a chapter here in Los Angeles, Onyx Southwest, which has been around since 2015. So we've been going strong for a couple of years now.
Absolutely.
And
on that too.
Thank you. Look, we're about to celebrate another anniversary that's coming up soon. So, go us.
If there's a party, invite us.
Oh, look, I mean, because I assume y'all save like plugs and stuff for the end of the show, but like I got stuff to plug.
We will.
Okay, come on. So how long have you been a member?
Yeah, I guess so. I've been a member. When you've been in so long, sometimes you forget the exact number, but it's been about 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I joined the club in like 2016, 2017.
Okay.
And it's been a fun roller coaster ever since.
Oh, wow. So you've basically grown with the organization.
Pretty much. They were pretty well established when I first joined, which was fantastic because it gave me an opportunity to meet other people of color in the leather community, which, I'd been in it to some degree. I'd been in and around events that happened in different cities. So like Door Alley and San Francisco, Folsom weekends.
Okay, yeah, because I heard that was lit, baby, in San Francisco.
It is a great time, but it's so much more lit when you have people and can hang with.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and they were absolutely sort of my party, my group of friends that I was able to go and experience that with. And at this point, we call ourselves a brotherhood because we are. They're like my family, and
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I honestly cannot imagine having experienced some of the things I have without them. They've been an absolutely amazing resource.
So, I mean, can you tell us a little bit more about like the leather community? Because I heard you mention that, having basically, I'm going to like paraphrase for my benefit because I will stumble otherwise. You mentioned the importance of like having your tribe. When going to the events and things like that, it's like, and I know, well, in my experience, I don't know about you, Ryan, but for me, when I think of or ever hear about the leather community, it is predominantly like entered in like white spaces and things like that. So tell us a little bit about like your experience with the leather community and just like what has it been for you?
Yeah. So I mean, I completely agree. I think when I first learned about the leather community, learned about the kink community as well. A lot of it was that community is well represented by, white cisgendered men. And so when I kind of learned about it and went in, of course, it seemed crazy that there wouldn't be any people of color in it, but I wasn't expecting like a ton. I thought that maybe I would be, no pun intended, but like the black sheep in this group. So I got exposed kind of to Onyx and immediately was like, oh wow, it's unfortunate sort of the erasure that happens to Black and Indigenous people of color within the leather and kink community, because there's so many that are doing absolutely amazing work. Again, amongst them is Onyx. In Oakland, San Francisco, there's this group called the Unruly Social Club, which is, powered by and led by women and trans folks.
I love that.
Yeah, it's an absolutely incredible club. And of course, Onyx has its own, women-led group called the Onyx Pearls. So we have a branch, dedicated.
That's right.
Okay.
So it was really awesome to come into Onyx and then to come into these spaces and see how many of them were led by and powered by Black, Indigenous, people of color, Asian Americans, women, trans folks. Like, to see that was absolutely incredible. And of course, it then led me to want to be involved in a lot of that representation. So by being a part of Onyx, I've been able to like talk to more people about my experiences as a Black man in Onyx, and as a Black man in the leather scene. I've gotten to meet more people who are just interested in learning a little bit about it. Like, so many folks, you know, tell me, oh yeah, you know, I want to explore this thing, but how do I even break into it? Where would I even go? Like, hey, I've got the perfect place you can go. It's called The Eagle. We host a beer bust on Sundays. Come on down, meet my brothers, have a good time. And to be able to do that for, you know, folks that essentially look like me is awesome. It's been fantastic. Yeah.
I love that. My question for you is the leather community considered a kink or more taboo? And like, why? Because I feel like when we think about it, it's like, is that taboo? But it's not really taboo, because I feel like it's really normal, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there. I think taboo is maybe like an outdated term at this point, because I mean, who's gonna shun somebody for wearing leather, right? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I think I look great.
Right? No, leather is hot.
It is.
Like,
I love the look of leather. I think
It makes the body look great.
fantastic. Look, Black people in leather look amazing.
Right,
Okay.
I always think of like when I think leather, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't automatically go to like the leather community. I go to like motorcycle gangs. Like, I think about that, like, you know, the leather pants and the leather jacket, sometimes the leather vest, like, you know. I mean, and then my mind kind of drifts and wanders and get a little raunchy. But you know, that's after. Like,
No, I'm with you there. I mean, so much of the leather aesthetic, you know, was kind of pioneered by artists like Tom of Finland, who took a lot of his inspiration from motorcycle gangs, the military, police forces. So I definitely, and, you know, to your point earlier too, when it comes to maybe perceptions that the kink and leather community is dominated by white folks, it's, you know, because a lot of the inspiration behind the look, you know, was taken from, you know, white dominated spaces. So I can see why, you know, like our image of leather is that way. And, you know, personally, again, when I think of like my leather aesthetic and what it is I'm going for, I definitely keep in mind motorcycle aesthetics, the sort of traditional leather look. But then I'm also doing my best to like flip that on its head and insert some of my culture and
I love that.
Go into it. So if you ever see me out in like a leather hoodie and some kind of leather tracksuit, that's just me. That's what I do.
Hey, that's perfect. We love personality within like a community that is technically so unified.
Yeah. I mean, and leather too, especially over like the last 10 years, just the look of it has changed so much.
Yes, we love progression.
We love progression. And I mean, we even love the fact that if you don't own a piece of leather, that's another thing the leather community is absolutely great about. You know, part of leather culture and a part of its history has always been passing down leather pieces. So if you're ever lucky like me and you happen to have somebody you can look up to as kind of like a leather daddy, they will, part of the, you know, culture is taking down those pieces of leather that they own that maybe they don't quite fit anymore, or they just don't wear as often, and they pass it down to folks, or they find opportunities to donate it or give it away or archive it. And that's kind of how other people get their chances to experience leather and to jump into the scene. So I've had a couple of leather pieces just given to me from people I look up to, from mentors, from loved ones and friends, and they absolutely become part of my look. And then, you know, one day when I am, you know, old and gray, I will, you know, look to pass down some of my pieces, some of the things I don't wear as much.
Okay, well, you talked about, you know, leather zaddies and all, and your age, kind of saying when you get older. I want to know if you mind sharing. One, how old are you? And two, what do you actually consider yourself in the leather community? Like, are you like like, you know?
Yeah,
so yourself.
I mean, your name is kind of hinting at you potentially being like a pup, but you know, I mean, but let's get into that as well, because what is a pup? Like,
we want to know.
Yeah, so I mean that's another big question. What is a pup? Well, I'm 30 now. I'm a fresh 30.
What's the zodiac sign?
Yes, we're aging like fine wine.
I am a Cancer.
You're a Cancer?
Cancer Sun, Scorpio Moon, Taurus Rising.
Oh, okay. It's a lot of.
It's giving switch. It's giving switch.
Giving a lot of.
I mean, look, it's been a long quarantine. I have Googled and looked up a lot of stuff in that time, my star sign included. But
Okay.
you know, I started in leather and kink when I was around 26, 25. And back then, there was something to my youth and my freshness to the scene that really lent itself to wanting to be a pup. I wanted to be, and that's something else we can talk about too. I think people of color have a very interesting experience when it comes to sort of the power dynamics within the leather and kink space and BDSM in particular. Mm-hmm. So when I came into the scene, I did not want to be called a boy. I did not want to be subservient to anyone in quite that way. But nevertheless, I wanted to experience kind of having a mentor and kind of being in a role to kind of learn and be young and playful and all those things. And so I actually gravitated towards being a pup. Pup did not come necessarily with any of the kind of negative connotations that I had in my head about subservience.
What were some of those, if you don't mind, like sharing that with us?
Totally. So, I mean, the first one was just being called a boy. I have studied and learned enough of slavery to have that trauma response whenever someone calls me boy. It doesn't matter what the context is. Please don't call me boy.
And so,
yeah. And that was kind of exacerbated in the power dynamic of a dom and a sub. So having just some man call me boy with that power dynamic very kind of obvious there was really uncomfortable for me. And so that was kind of a barrier to entry too. I wanted to experience something, but knew I had sort of this barrier that was a little hard for me to get past. And the way for me to do that, though, was pup play. I found that being called Puppy, being called Wagz, I got to pick my own name when doing that, which was super duper helpful.
And you picked a cute name, by the way. Like, I think that is so cute. It makes it more appealing for sure.
Like, it holds a special place in my heart because then president of Onyx Southwest, Chad Onyx, who's our vice president now, he kind of just passed the name around. He was like, "Oh, I love the way you're shaking your ass, at the bar. It'd be amazing if you called yourself Wagz." And so when I was like picking my pup name, it started floating around. I'm like, Wagz. Oh, that'd be cute. And that goes a lot with what I'm doing at the bar. So Wagz Onyx. So, I picked Wagz Onyx and it just felt right. And then I was able to enter these spaces, kink and leather spaces as a pup. And I was able to experience, again, some level of subservience, some level of service, some level of honestly being taken care of, being called cute, and, just being really playful. I got to experience all those things as a young gay trying to figure out their way in the world. And, I will always cherish, my pup experience, my pup play experiences, and the people that interacted with me while I was engaging in that. Because, I don't know if I'd be here today if I hadn't gotten to live that fantasy.
That's beautiful. So do you have a current dom, or when choosing a dom, or how does that work? Do you choose your dom? Like, can you pick like a race or anything? Like, have you dealt with white doms? Like,
and that's interesting. Yeah, I was going to ask because you did say like when you were engaging in that. So do you not like play anymore, or is it just not as often?
Well, quarantine has been very interesting.
Oh, indeed, yes.
It has not offered. I would love to live in a world where the pandemic is long behind us, right? But it's been interesting trying to experience that side of myself while being in quarantine. But to be honest with you, I think that's one of the beautiful things about coming up in leather and growing as a person while still trying to engage with the community, because now, it's interesting enough, I consider myself a little more dom. You know, I'm starting to channel. You can hear it. Mm-hmm. Well, see, look, I'm starting to channel and explore some of that, you know, dom energy right now, and I've been really enjoying that. Which isn't to say I won't engage in a little putt play from time to time, and, you know, be a little subby, but, you know, being able to duality switch, you know, I consider myself.
Yeah, and that's why
yeah. And so, you know, also kind of touching back on taboos, you know, I don't know if it's a taboo necessarily, but it's definitely one of my, you know, places that I don't go, and it's kind of race play. So when it comes to race play, you know, and when it comes to race and power dynamics and its sexual fantasies, I think that can be a really, really touchy subject. Leather, kink, all those things are not taboos. In 2022 on Beyonce's internet, I don't think any of those things are, you know, taboo anymore. But, you know, there's definitely some things that can be a little touchy and cause a lot of trauma and harm to folks if not dealt with in an appropriate way. And one of those things is absolutely race when it comes to power dynamics and relationships. So I've never had a dom who was white. And to that point, I've never really had a dom. I mean, it can be rough. That isn't to say there aren't Black people with white doms. There definitely are those. There are definitely, you know, white subs with Black doms, and I absolutely encourage picking their brains about how they navigate those relationships, because it can be really tough, really touchy, really rough, and especially when you bring those into a public space where other folks can kind of see it and have a reaction to it. I think you have to be really conscious of how you take care of your sub in that moment, how you take care of yourself, and just how do you hold space for that conversation. So race play, maybe not a taboo, but definitely a rough field to try and be in.
Well, as you can see, our light bill clearly was not paid again, but it's okay. We're still lit. We're here. But what I want to ask, since you've been talking about taboos, do you feel there is a difference between taboos and kinks, and like, what are they?
So I mean, I think the difference between taboos and kinks is that taboos you just probably should not do. If it's a taboo, it's probably a taboo for a reason, right? But a kink, like, I think a kink is very taboo. Yeah, and
you know, no judgment. If you do that, if that's your thing, do what you want to do, baby. Okay, look, we are all positive, and we have the tools to help you with that here. If you would like to do so, okay. If you need some condoms, if you need some water-based lube, okay. We also have some anal lube here as well. We have all the things. Okay, come see us if you want it before you go see your cousin.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry. Yes.
Look, while I try and collect my thoughts on that, you know, let me kind of throw it back to you. What do you think are some kinks that maybe were taboos, or taboos that you think are maybe just kinky? Like, what are your thoughts on them?
I mean, over the years, like, things that I thought, like, back then when I was first just being sexual in general, like, that I thought were like taboos have now just become kinks. I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm much more open as each year passes by. So with that being said, there's not really a lot of like taboos that I can think of off the top of my head, but I would say, like, I mean, one was definitely flogging, but I feel like that was more so because of slavery, but also, like, my mindset was always like, okay, I wouldn't have like a white dom. Like, I would not have, like, if I was to be flogged, like, even back then, like, I thought it was kinky, but I also thought it was taboo, but that's also because of, like, if I was to have a white dom, but that's also going back to the stereotype of, like, you know, only white gays or like white folks in general being a part of the leather and kink community, and that being, you know, broadcast solely to the public, just that, like, not really having like a group like Onyx being visible. But what about you, Ryan? Like, what was like a taboo or a kink for you?
I feel like we recently learned Francisco was here. I'm sure you know Francisco.
Love Francisco.
We love Francisco.
He taught us the difference between a kink and a fetish, and it kind of opened my eyes, and I was like, oh, so like a fetish is like what you need to like actually like come, essentially. And like a kink is just something that's just like, you kind of like, and it like turns you on, it gets you aroused. And I was like, wow. And then my eyes opened, and I was like, so for me, my kink is like something like, I would say, I used to say dick, but like essentially I like giving head. So like giving fellatio, I can, get aroused from that. But like a fetish is like something that like you really, really need. And I'm like, okay, well, what do I need? Well, no, I think I flipped it.
You flipped it.
My fetish is that, giving fellatio. My kink is milking. That's what it is.
All right.
Milking is my kink. I think that's beautiful. I love it. I love everything about it. But yeah, so.
All right, get that dairy.
Okay. As far as taboo, like I said, like having sex with your cousin, I wouldn't do that. But that's very taboo to me. It's like, never heard of. But when people think about the leather community and they say like, oh, some people like, oh, it's taboo. It's like, is it taboo? Like, I don't think it's not heard of. I think it's very normal. But yeah,
I totally agree with you. So, I mean, when I think of taboos, again, it's something that is probably taboo for a reason. And if anything, I tend to obviously stay away from taboo. So taboos to me are like you said, having sex with your cousin, like bestiality, some not so fun things with, consent, things like that. Those are taboos, right? So kinks, though, are just fun little things that we do in bed that are maybe outside of the mainstream idea of what is normal, right? So one of the most innocuous sort of kinks that I like to talk about are spit and breath play.
Ooh, that's hot.
Yeah, see, and I think when people hear like spit and breath play, they're like, "Ooh, why would you? Ooh, really?" And I'm like, you really have no idea, because honestly, you're kind of taking both off. And like anytime you want someone to just casually put a hand around your neck and just like hold you down or something, you're engaging in a little bit of breath play there, a little bit of choking. Anytime you say, daddy spit in my mouth, or, have someone on top of you and they just like, yeah, pretty much, right? It's doing a little bit of spit play there. And I think those things people don't really think about in terms of like, oh, that's kinky. They're just like, oh, this is a little nasty thing we do in bed. I know, no, babe, that's kinky. You like a little bit of kink in your sex, and that's okay.
Okay.
I'm out here trying to normalize those conversations, right?
Yes. Okay. And we love that. We love all
and
of
so
that.
Are we.
But we about to get into a commercial break really quick. So let's get into it. We'll be right back with you, Wagz. Thank you.
Are you in need of a quick and easy way to know your HIV status? Swab and Chill is a discreet way to learn your status in the comfort of your own home. The process gives you results in 20 minutes. Swab the upper gums, swab the lower gums, and voila! Simply follow the colorful step-by-step instructions located inside the kit. Or call APLA and we can assist you virtually. In addition, all kits include condoms and lube for that penetrative fun. For our trans clients, we have Swab and Chill Plus, a customizable kit for trans-specific needs. And we haven't forgotten about COVID either. All kits include personal protection gear, like face masks, comfortable yet stylish. A personal touch tool for dealing with those germ-infested handles and ATM keypads. Wet wipes for those little messes that need cleaning up. Also, keep that summer body protected with Swab and Chill sunscreen. And don't forget about our fanny packs for those quick trips to the store. All this can be yours. Simply call Swab and Chill at 323-329-9713 or email us at swabandchill@apla.org. We would love for you to be part of our Swab and Chill family.
Come swab and chill with us!
Hello, and we are back. Welcome back.
And the lights are back on.
Okay, we paid the bill really quick just for you guys. So welcome back, Wagz. Thank you for being on our show today again.
And let's just, if you're just tuning in or if you skip to the middle for whatever reason because you don't like to watch the full episode, today we have Wagz from Onyx. Onyx is a black, just person of male, like men of color, leather
organization.
Yes.
Fraternity in a sense.
That's what I was going to say. Isn't it a frat?
Yeah. It is.
Brotherhood, fraternity, social club, all of
the above.
We love that.
And we are talking about Kwame.
You gonna put the topic up? Topic. We got to talk about what's taboo, what's kinky.
What's taboo and what's kinky. Okay, look,
leather lifestyle.
We are a fully produced show, okay, and the people need to know because Kwame does his thing. Okay.
So, Wagz, what do you feel are the misconceptions or some misconceptions that you've heard about being in the leather community?
Oh man, there's quite a few misconceptions, either about the community or the people in it. Probably one of the most commonly ones I hear most often is that there's something wrong with people in the leather and kink community. It's some kind of mental illness there. People I think see a lot of the extreme versions of a lot of kinks and play there. And just assume that you have to be a little crazy to engage with that. Obviously, that is not true. Just so many different kinds of people engage in kink and leather. It takes a village. It takes all kinds to make that community work, to make the community what it is and thrive, and to kind of blanket assume that everyone there has some sort of trauma or something that they're working through or something going on is not correct. It's not right. But of course, it's also unfair to those folks in the community who do have either a mental health issue that they're working through or some sort of trauma that maybe kink and play are actually helping them work through. So, we have to be really careful of language like that and careful of those assumptions because there are folks who are working through that. And it's important that we are intentional and really holding space for them and make sure that they're safe and protected. So I really try and push back on that one a lot. That's my big one. But what else? Another thing, that I hear a lot of folks say that, people in this space are all drunk or on drugs or something or other, and
what?
Again, he's very stigmatizing language. Not at all true.
Right, because I feel like that would be more dangerous to engage in, but then again, that's what most people, I would assume most people think is that the leather lifestyle is dangerous. Is what I'm gathering from all of these misconceptions.
Yeah. I think people think anything that's not normal is just absurd, but what is normal?
Yeah, and I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. What is normal, and why do you perceive kink as not normal? And on top of that, why do you perceive it as dangerous?
Right.
I'm not even involved in all the kinks that are out there, but I've been able to kind of watch and witness and see how folks who are into various kinks, be it flogging, whipping, breath play, impact play, whatever it is, I've seen how a lot of them take care of themselves and take care of their partners. And it has to be one of the safest things I've ever seen. Like the levels of protocol, the amount of self-care and check-ins that go in, like if you got the right one, you are in the safest hands. It's absolutely incredible. So to think of it as unsafe, you know, it's not right. You have to see it for yourself to believe just how much care goes into a lot of this play.
Absolutely.
It can be dangerous if you do it wrong, but when you do it right, it's incredibly safe.
I.e. having a careless dom.
Who doesn't provide aftercare? Would you care to provide, you know, what that means really quick for us?
Right.
Yeah, aftercare is just essentially any steps that you take after or during a play session in order to make sure that your sub or your partner is safe and doing all right.
Can you give us like a quick example of like just really quick of like how you know, the beginning, the middle, and the end / aftercare of a scene?
Sure. So, you know, kind of think of maybe like a impact play, flogging play session. Some aftercare steps might be as you are flogging your partner, maybe you're giving them some caresses along the skin that was impacted, you know, just making sure that you are taking care of the areas that you're hitting. If you're hitting a certain area a lot, maybe focusing on some other areas so that area that was hit repeatedly is not super sore or tender. And of course, when I have been, you know, the bottom or the sub and impact play session, aftercare for me is absolutely that check-in towards the end of, hey, how you feeling? Are you doing all right? Caressing, touching, you know, kissing, all those things.
We love a booty rub.
A booty rub. Look, if you're gonna be smacking up the cheeks, you know, calm them down some. Bring that,
you know, wax on, wax off.
All right.
My thing is, I feel like we need that in like normal sex. Like normal sex tops need to do it with their bottoms. Like, but they don't. So
but I think that's just. But I think that goes into like. That's a multi-layered thing that we can talk about on a different show, and we probably will, or at BQT on Thursdays from 6:30 to 8:30. Okay, we plug all that.
I think you're so right though. Like my vanilla sex, my regular sort of sexual encounters have absolutely been improved by some of the things I've learned by engaging in kink. Like I don't even necessarily have to do the kinks to take some of those lessons away, because like you said, just aftercare is fantastic.
Yeah, but see, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I think that's the issue with a majority of society as well, because like aftercare, you know, in the hookup culture could be looked at as like, you know, leading somebody on, or you know, being perceived as like, you know, catching feelings because it is doing more than, you know, the wham bam thank you ma'am.
That's society problem.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's probably why aftercare is not as prominent in like regular, you know, hookup culture than it is in kink, in the leather community and in the kink community, because like there are steps and levels to that because of the intensity versus like people like Wagz said, the vanilla kind of sex, the regular kind, which is really just like, oh, I show up, whoop, 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 and thank you so much, and maybe I'll call you in a week. Like, you know,
I often feel that so much of just queer hookup culture is borrowed or you know, just borrowed from heteronormativity and from straight hookup culture. And being able to engage in the kink community, you know, engage with them, being in it, I've been able to kind of navigate and carve my own way with how I want to approach just casual hookups. And, you know, it doesn't have to be this It can be. Those are absolutely fun. This one and done experience of,
Right, exactly.
Get here, dick you down, and then you bounce. Like, that's totally fine. Have a towel, be on your way. Cool. But if you ever just want to, really make something of your hookups, it doesn't have to be that way. They can be as long or short as you want.
Right.
They can be as intense and involved or as, removed as you want. And
exactly.
Being able to really decide what you want out of your sex life, being able to have that power to advocate for yourself, establish your boundaries, state what it is you're looking for. I can definitely say I got those skills, got that language and knowledge from my experiences with the leather and kink community.
Yes. And like all of those things that you mentioned, like are just applicable to regular life as well. Because like once you realize you can really make not just your sexual experiences in your sex life, but just your actual life, whatever you want it to be, once you realize that you do not have to hold on to the societal norms or the heteronormativity of it all, you become so free and much more happy.
Absolutely. So I kind of want to take the take the mic for a second. I want to ask.
Here, hold on.
What is the kinkiest thing you've ever done?
Oh, we actually talked about this in our last BQT.
You said what?
Yeah.
You said the kinkiest thing we've ever done.
Oh, child, I don't even know if I want to say what I said at BQT on the air.
Child, what he asked, and we got to give the people what they want.
Okay, so you can go first.
Okay, that's fine. I'm spilling my tea.
Yeah, you said it's
child. Well, when he was young,
let me throw
he
her
went
in the
to
before I say something.
He went to this is okay. We got a warning label in the beginning. He went to a sex party, and he was having sex with only one person who picked him up for that sex party, and the rest of everyone was watching and touching each other and rubbing on each other and masturbating and all the above, just in a circle around myself and the top who I was riding at the time. And it was a magical moment. And that was my kinky thing. So
okay, right now, live studio audience. Okay.
So look, I heard a little bit of exhibitionism and some voyeurism in there. That sounds awesome.
It was great. He was choking me a little bit. I loved it. I took back because I'm a little aggressive bottom,
Okay.
We love those. We love a switch. We love a switch.
Yes.
Absolutely. This whole, I'm like strictly a bottom, strictly a top. That language is so dated.
I call myself a power verse. So
okay, there you go. I consider myself just a power switch. I will do any and everything. Like I will be a dom bottom if I need to be. Period.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would identify as too, Wagz. Like I would identify as a power switch. Now that isn't necessarily to say that like I'm going to verse it out, but if you want to just take advantage of me as your top, like by all means do so. But just let me know when it's my turn because I'm ready.
There we go.
Okay, answer the question now.
I was trying to be very smooth about it.
You thought we missed it. You thought we missed it.
You thought we forgot.
But I'll just say the one that I said at BQT again, which happens every Thursday from 6:30 to 8:30 at Out Here Center in Baldwin Hills.
Yeah.
So I would say I was hooking up with this guy consistently. He was a verse. If you haven't gathered, am a top, and so he was really into me. He was like, wanting to make all of my fantasies come true because he felt like, like you're safe with me and I want to keep you safe and healthy and things. So if you want to do anything, it's kind of like when your parents tell you, like, if you want to try something, like, ask me first. Like they gave that. So to make a long story short, we ended up, I said I wanted a threesome. He ended up organizing it and we, picked up the third and snuck onto this high school campus. And like, we had the threesome on like their football field.
Yes. Okay. Let's go. A little risky. I like it.
Yeah, it was fun.
So then a follow-up question, I'm curious, what did you sort of learn about yourself or what did you take away from that experience that has kind of followed you?
I love group play. I love group play.
No.
I live for it. I thrive off of it. I love being the center of attention.
Let's go. All right.
I like exhibitionism. Like but I feel like I'm just naturally a thrill seeker, but also have a high libido. So if I'm with the right person, it doesn't really matter like where we are. If we can be like ducked off somewhere, it doesn't necessarily have to be like private, but as long as we're like ducked off in the cut, I'm with the stuff.
Absolutely. Right on. So I mean, I kind of ask those questions because I have felt often that I've grown a lot as a person from my kinky experiences, and some usually unexpected ways. Either I've discovered that maybe I'm a little more, again, dominant than I thought I was, or I can get into a role play headspace a little bit easier than I thought I would be able to. Like I thought I'd feel silly and I didn't. So yeah, if I leave this show with any message, I want everyone, especially people of color, especially Black people. I'm rooting for Black people.
We're rooting for everybody Black.
We're rooting for everybody Black to be able to experience kink and just sexual play, be playful with your sex in some way, because you can learn so much about yourself and you can grow so much as a person just from having good, healthy sexual experiences. And that's kind of been my mission too, as a member of Onyx. I'm just constantly striving to empower Black people, Black men, Black women, trans folks, everyone to explore yourself, learn who you are and what it is that you want. And if I happen to give people an orgasm on this journey, hell yeah, that is real pro Black work for me. If I can make more Black people come, let's go.
Okay. I still have yet to experience like giving somebody like a tears of joy like orgasm, but I'm working on it. And thank you for that word. If I was going to leave the episode with anything, I would say, and it doesn't necessarily apply to, I mean, it does, but it's more of like a intersectionality thing. When it comes to, being a bottom or being a top or being a verse, like those things are not synonymous to dominance and submissiveness. I want everybody to take that with them who is watching this episode. Like, just because you are a bottom does not necessarily mean you always have to be submissive, and vice versa for a top. It does not emasculate you. It does not make you any less of a bottom. It does not make you an unreal bottom or an unreal top. Like, you are still very much those things. It's the same thing as like femininity, as a queer, or any other intersectionality where we feel that if we do this, that automatically cancels out that. And that is not the case. We need to stop living in the land of or and start living in the land of and.
Come on.
Word. Yes.
It's y'all giving advice, so we didn't get to the advice portion of the episode. We do that at the weigh-in. We're getting there. But I wanted to get into you being a Black / well, you're Black. I ain't gonna even say brown, but Black and brown man in the leather community. Have you ever been fetishized by others who are not in the community? Like, and how was that for you?
Totally. Being a Black gay man, just in general, you get fetishized for. I was like, oh, does he have a big dick? Oh, he's gonna beat my top, da 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 da, and. That sucks because, I'm not always in top mode. I'm not always in a top mood. And,
But since you brought it up, do you? Because the people want to know.
Do I top?
No. I mean, yes, but all the other questions. Answer all the questions that you asked. Like
I said, I am a power switch. Whatever energy strikes me at the moment, I'll put that hat on. Ain't no problems there.
I felt that. I felt the way you responded. Oh, you slick. I can tell you slick in the bedroom. Ciao. But now let's get into the question that you asked us because you didn't answer it. You're not slick.
The kinkiest thing I've ever done. Wow. Okay, so gosh, kind of have to dig in my bag for this one. The kinkiest thing I've ever done. Oh, that's hard. Okay. Okay. I was at a bar in San Francisco during a door weekend, and I might have I might have decided to piss in someone's mouth while at the bar. The drinks were flowing, the beer was, doing what beer does, and
hey,
started looking around for the bathroom, like, holy crap, there's like 100 people in here. I'm not gonna make it to the bathroom. And somebody who happened to be flagging yellow, saw my distress, saw what the problem was, and they were like, hey, bathroom's right here if you need me. And I was like, well, okay. I can either piss on myself trying to get to the bathroom or piss on you. And we chose option 2. So I won't say that's the kinkiest thing I've ever done, but it's high up there on that.
We all have a list.
It's pretty kinky.
We all have a list. Okay. I had to dig mine out of a long list as well. I just thought, okay, we're going to throw that one out there because it's just, but yeah, definitely.
Like, which one do I not mind being recorded?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, we appreciate you for being on the show today, Wagz. Thank you so much again. For giving us your time and giving us a little insight on Onyx and what Onyx is and giving your great advice, because I appreciate it.
Yeah. So what would you leave the people with?
What I would leave the people with is, I feel like y'all summed it up so perfectly. I don't even know what to say, to be honest. But honestly, like, just love and be your genuine self. That's all I can say. Love and be your genuine self. I feel like a lot of us aren't being as genuine as we want.
That's true too.
Exactly. We aren't being as our genuine selves, and we're trying to do what society tells us. Kind of piggybacking off what y'all said, but we do what a lot of society tells us. So let's just be our genuine selves, live in our femininity, live in our masculinity, whatever that is for you, authentically. Don't try to portray something that isn't true.
Yeah, you don't also have to have a duality to, enjoy yourself as well. Because if you genuinely don't enjoy being dominant or submissive, then that's okay too. Right. You can just be one. But as long as you're happy about it, make the decision for yourself. Don't make the decision based off of what you think you have to do.
That part. And as you know, you can find me on Healthy Him on Instagram and him at
thenetworks.apla. Okay, if you want to come see us, we are here Monday through Friday. Okay, what was it? Monday,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
not Saturday.
Okay, not Saturday. Not yet. Not yet. And Wagz, where can the people find you?
So the people can find me at, I guess, my IG, BRYT0N is my name with a little number in there. People can also, I don't really have a whole lot of social media, but the people can also check out Onyx Southwest at onyxsw.com just to get some more information there.
Yeah, and just really quick, does Onyx have any events that, if anybody is curious or open or wanting to start the leather, want to join the leather community or is interested in the leather community, but like you said, was looking for the Black and brown spaces, like, is there anything coming up for Onyx?
Yeah, we actually have a dance party on March 25th.
Ooh, at Catch One, right?
Yeah, at the Catch One, chaotic ascension dance party. So, if you're feeling like coming out and having a good time, dancing, meeting some leather folk and just, people out for the night, then please come on by. There's an Eventbrite page up to buy tickets. You can also be redirected towards that by going through the Onyx website. So, yeah, come through. It'll be a good time.
We love that. Well, as you all know, this was Wagz with the leather lifestyle and your fave duo. We talked about, what we do, STI testing, HIV testing, about our groups both Tuesday and Thursday.
Our groups.
And that we offer PrEP and PEP, and what we do here is great. And we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.